Leslie catches up with the group's progress at the beginning of the third week on the anti-aging experiment. To our surprise, they already report that changing their diet and lifestyle is having an impact on the whole of their lives.
I've been with pain for at least half my life. I actually haven't had very much at all for the last fortnight. I can't believe it. That's why I'm sitting exactly like I am here. I put my knees into a very strong flexion.
Training has been wonderful because I've had lower back problems lifting children at the daycare, and that strengthened it quite a bit.
I'll write a book after I've done this about how to live like a Trappist monk. I mean, because I think while it's really good for you, there's times when it's not really, it's not as satisfying as eating nice indulgent food.
I've had a wonderful time eating meat. Lots of meat.
People are having a lot more fun, and I'm having a lot more fun. So I'm enjoying that. It's harder. The bigger challenge is domestically changing those rituals that you sort of get brought into walking in and being pissed off and reading the paper or whatever. Those type of things.
Diet's important. Exercise is important. How you deal with stress is important. But the single most important thing of all, for all of us, in terms of staying healthy and staying fit and young for a long time, is that we follow our passion.
I'm lying on the couch reading. That to me is the most indulgent thing I do that I really love. I'm a passionate reader.
He's the little one.
It's more of a drag than a walk.
It has this wonderful wild feel to it. Can we go in?
Yes.
Okay.
The next stage of the anti-aging program is mind-body balance. To make stress work for us rather than against us, Leslie believes that we need to rediscover the art of balance, a way to help us move at will from a dynamic, excited state into a deeply relaxed, restorative one. Leslie asked Elke Dunlop to introduce the group to the Feldenkrais method. This is based on exercises which shift neurological patterning and help rejuvenate the body.
As we age, the ability to push with willpower is less available to us. And so we do need to look at how skillful are we. The Feldenkrais method is fundamental to human function. So how people learn their motor skills in childhood is reflected on how they take their bodies into movement, into exercising. If they learn to move more efficiently, then the exercising becomes a pleasure.
You know, it's not even like we have to do great big stretching or anything like that, just little fine movements that kind of register in our brain. And then by doing those, our brain starts to, I guess, figure out about contracting and letting go of the muscles.
I've never done anything like that. I suppose it's like yoga and relaxation and really getting your skeleton in sync. In harmony, and it's quite interesting. And out of all these things I've done, I'd say that's the most revelationary thing. When I've done it, I walk out of there feeling absolutely, relaxed. It's fantastic, really.
Our test group's families were becoming intrigued by what they saw happening.
The thing that impressed me was that Joelle said one day that her eyes don't itch when she comes home, and not feeling as if she has sinned in. And I think if that is part of the diet, I think that's really worth it.
Since the diet, I've got a liver which works well, and therefore my vision is a lot sharper.
Anything else you need to tell us?
You take that.
Terry finds it tricky finding time to do these things, but she finds the time. I've walked into the lounge before and found her lying on the floor with a sheet over her in some sort of meditation pose. She's really enjoying it.
He was scruffy and eating all these gourmet foods that were just really bad for him. But he's changed while he's on this diet, mentally he's changed. It's like he's gone back to school again. He knows a whole lot of different things again.
While our test group are on a voyage of discovery, so too is Leslie.
Taro, Redford, Kimura. Yeah.
She learns that the Pacific Islanders' traditional island diet is very similar to the one she's asked our group to follow.
This traditional diet has become, should we go on to
Yeah,
this side?
let's do it.
Almost like this is now, you go to an island feast, or, you know, we seem to think this is our traditional food,
Right,
but this
okay.
isn't our traditional food. I mean, we still have pork, we still have taro, but we've added corned beef, and we've added
French
potato
bread.
salad and French bread and
Donuts.
and donuts.
The traditional
Cook
Cook Island donuts, yes,
that's
that your
right.
grandmother used to make.
Yeah, as a result, nowadays we've got a high increase of people who suffer from diabetes, from heart disease, and all sorts of things.
That's all over the world.
That's right. That I suppose.
Anne explains to Leslie how she encourages her community to change their lifestyle, promoting eating in a traditional way to help protect them from the diseases of aging.
If you came and said to me, maybe don't eat so much of this and so much of that, and do all the healthy stuff, I'm more inclined to change if you told me that my chances of seeing my grandchildren.
So family
gonna
and
be quite
community
limited.
play a
Yes.
very important
That's
part.
right. Yeah,
in
it's not
giving
just
you the
about
impetus.
me; it's about the rest of my family.
Well, those taro leaves are fantastic.
Are they lovely?
That'd be a great bed for
As we moved away from fresh, natural produce to eat more and more manufactured foods, human health began to suffer. Examining the bones of our ancestors, paleopathologists and archaeologists explore whether the foods that early hunter-gatherers ate were healthier than what we eat today.
The first settlers throughout New Zealand hunted large birds and sea mammals. They gathered particularly roots of and stems of cabbage tree, which is a very nutritious carbohydrate source. They ate a lot of fern root, bracken fern roots, and they also experimented with practically every kind of berry and fern and so on that they could find in New Zealand to provide a variety of plant foods as well as the hunting and fishing. They were great fishermen.
What do you think we might learn from our early Pacific cousins?
They were successfully, in a variety of ways, obtaining an adequate diet. They exercised a lot, of course, which is one of the things that we should certainly take note of, not so much couch potato stuff, no couch potato stuff. And those of them that were more fortunate in tropical areas, probably a good combination of a variety of fruit and vegetables and plenty of fish and an active life, would set us a good example.
Leslie and the group found that just looking for a healthy lunch on a city street was quite a challenge.
The deep-fried tofu and stuff, what kind of oil is it fried in?
Most menus contain a high proportion of starchy, sugary dishes. While many government bodies are still urging us to eat more rice, bread and pasta, Leslie advises the group to completely cut out highly processed grains.
The payoffs of paying attention to how you eat and how you live in terms of your exercise and so forth are huge. I mean, the boring ones are that you prevent things like coronary heart disease and many forms of cancer and diabetes and the other degenerative conditions. But more important for me is you actually prevent that loss of energy and passion and enthusiasm.
It's remarkable that to date, all of our group have remained committed to the program. Whether the enthusiasm continues during what Leslie considers are the toughest weeks, that remains to be seen.